Mark Breezel on here. So today we're going to be covering what happens when you don't get professionals to do your artificial grass. And in the spirit of that, I'm going to put on my cowboy hat because the people who installed this were absolute cowboys. And essentially what they've done is rob this person. It's the worst install I've ever seen. Upturned against the house, upturned around this step. Weeds have very easily started to grow. No securing, absolutely none. We find a horizontal cut all the way across the middle of the garden. The joint is extremely visible. Oh, that'll lie. One nail in it. No glue. And again, horizontal join, incorrect. Now the only thing they did do right is they laid the grass in the right direction, so we'll give them that. Again, oh that's it, sorry. That's a total of 2. We might get 5 nails here total. And then under here we've got 10 mil rock. I had quoted this customer, but we were at the time busy, thinking it was around 30 square meters, around 3 grand. Somebody came in, underquoted me for maybe 2.5, said yeah, we can do it next week, and yeah, essentially robbed this customer. Now, don't blame the customer. You need to be asking for references. They need to have social media. On my phone, I've got millions of pictures of gardens, so you ask me, I can probably pull up a picture. Again, it's not going to be cheap to fix because it's essentially a full install. We have to lift all this up. If you're looking for a freshly done install, give us a shout. I'm going to take a video on finished here, show you how it should be properly done. We've already been here a day, so I think it's time to take this off. We don't need this anymore. Professionals are here, and I'm going to show you how it's professionally done. As you can see, it hasn't snowed overnight. We've just put in our Taram. Taram is a geotextile, so it acts as a weed-proof membrane. It also acts as a stabilizer, and it also stops your sub-base, which is your 804, from mixing with the soil underneath. So that's the first basic step. So Taram, weed-proof membrane, something has to go down. Also, most importantly, we excavated this correctly. So there's at least 100 mil below all our levels. In an old style garden like this, the levels are kind of usually set. So our level is here. It's this existing stone, and up here. The other side, the existing stone. So what we do is we put a string across, touching both stones, dig 100 mil below it, make sure everything under that line is 100 mil. We're also going to bring the grass right up to the top of this. As you can see, at least 100 mil. In fact, we got a bit more there. That's going to allow for 75 mil of our 804, and then we're going to do a further 25 mil of blind, which is going to be quarry dust. We use these. These are 2x2, 50 mil by 50 mil composite battens. So composite is a combination of wood and plastic. That means your edge is never going to rot. These are all going to be affixed once we put our on top of our 804. Say this grass is 40 mil. Usually what we do is we let 20 mil sit above our fixed point, our levels, and then 20 mil below. So this will kind of take an average, will be roughly 20 mil, 2 centimeters below all of our levels. And that just means the grass is sitting down nicely. The black edge that you can see, it will be invisible. We've also looped our tram up the side, so when we pin these, it's going to stop as much weed kind of ingrown into your base as much as possible. What we're also trying to do is get too much muck in here. We'll get a few muddy footprints, but we're going to try and keep this base what we call sterile so that nothing can grow in it. And it also helps with drainage, because if there's muck in it and you have dogs, then pee will get stuck in the muck. The reason why we use 804 and not just 10 mil chip-ins like that was here before, it's all different stones, all different sizes. What happens is when you compact them together, creates a firm base, whereas 10 mil stone is not going to base anything. 10 mil stone is usually for drainage or decoration. There is no other use for it. Might go wrong on that one, correct me in the comments. These are all going to get pinned. These get drilled at 1 meter apart. 350 mil pins driven down through them into the ground. They don't go anywhere. That's how it's done right. Whatever was here before was not right done. A lot of times this edging is, some people might call it overkill. We're a company who does this professionally, and we want this to still be here. The grass itself should last 15 to 20 years. The edging has to match. Actually, take a guess. How many nails held this whole garden together? We'll count them up. Got all of our 804 in and compacted, but we've set up our lines. As I said before, we're kind of bound by the levels that are already existing in the garden. That means that this is not always level. So what we do is we set up our lines, and that way we can flow to the contours of the garden. We've got our edging in, and you can see here we've started adding in our blind. Our blind is quarry dust, 5-stone quarry dust. We don't use sand. The reason we don't use sand is this is crushed rock with no nutrients in it. Nothing can grow in it. I'm hoping to get this finished today, but to be honest, it's been a little bit slower, so we will be finished tomorrow.
And once you see the final product, you'll understand the difference between cowboys and professionals who do this for a living. We'll see you in the next one. Any comments, leave them below. Hi guys, Mark Freezelod, and this is the final video on our cowboy job. We are fully finished here. We did have to do what's called horizontal join. That's around here. And it was just where the old grass was already cut. We've recut it. It's a lot smoother. Pinned it as well and glued it underneath there. Simple basic things all the way around. Fully secured. Once this glue is fully set, that won't lift either. Don't accuse me of not finishing that. Homeowner gave us those last minute. We just put them in, but it wasn't enough. So that's it. That's the whole process from start to finish. If you're looking for artificial grass, give us a shout. And the main caveat from this is just always be careful with who you let in to do work in your home. You can give us a shout. If we're busy, we'll recommend other landscapers who we've worked with, or we know their quality of work is high. And a few other tips for when you are looking for landscapers, because it is very difficult, we know that. Just make sure, nowadays websites, followers, Instagram, they can all be faked. One thing that can't be faked is, even on my phone, my personal phone, I have thousands of photos of people's gardens, thousands of photos of different work. You can also ask for references. If anyone ever asked me for a reference, I go back to any single customer we've dealt with and ask them for a reference, put them in touch with you, and they'd be happy to do that. That's really the only way I can see forward out of this until some sort of standardization. But other than that, as always, just give us a like and a follow. It really helps. And see you in the next video. Thank you very much, guys.